If you've ever left class thinking, why are they like this? Today you'll get 3 brain based reasons behind teen behavior that can turn frustration into, oh, that makes sense, and give you more grounded ways to respond. Welcome to the Voice of the Student podcast, where real student stories meet the science of well being, energy, and learning. I'm Dr. Kelley Spence, a well being specialist, education advocate, and author of The Voice of the Student, here to help reimagine education so that teachers are better resourced, students are truly seen, and classrooms become places where both can thrive. This space is dedicated to you, our hardworking teacher and educators, offering grounded, science-backed, energetically aware strategies to support your well-being so your classroom can better meet and exceed the needs of your unique 21st century students. Take a breath, settle in, and let's explore how caring for your nervous system, your intention, and your energy is one of the most powerful ways to transform education from the inside out. Everything in this movement to reimagine education for both teachers and students rests on a simple truth. When we regulate the adult nervous system first, we create the conditions for adolescent brains to feel safe enough to learn, take risks, and engage more fully in the education experience. When your body is grounded and your energy is intentional, you can design a classroom that works with, not against, the teenage brain, so well-being and learning rise together. So if you've ever walked out of class thinking, oh my gosh, why are they like this? You're not alone. The good news is there's a brain-based answer to that question, and understanding it can transform the way you interpret your students' choices, emotions, and learning patterns. Today we'll look at 3 key pieces of the adolescent brain: pruning, myelination, and the developing prefrontal cortex, and what they mean for your daily teaching. In the Engage Classroom online course, these ideas become practical tools you can use to design lessons, routines, and responses that work with, not against, teen brain development. So let's start with pruning, the brain's cleaning crew. During adolescence, the brain is pruning, literally trimming away neural connections that aren't being used, while strengthening the ones that are. It's like cleaning out an overstuffed closet so the clothes you actually wear are easier to reach. The brain doesn't judge what it keeps as good or bad. It simply reinforces whatever gets repeated attention and emotional energy, whether that's healthy habits or unhelpful thought patterns. In your classroom, pruning means things like experiences that are repeated, relevant, and emotionally meaningful are more likely to stick. Content that is rarely revisited or feels disconnected from students' lives is more likely to get pruned away. You can support healthy pruning by using spaced repetition instead of one-and-done exposure, by connecting learning to real-life questions, identity, and future goals, and reinforcing positive habits like collaboration, kindness, and reflection. Next is myelination. This is our supercharging the brain's wiring. While pruning is trimming, myelination is insulating. Nerve fibers are being coated with myelin, a fatty substance that allows signals to travel faster and more efficiently. This process boosts problem solving, critical thinking, and memory and information integration. Adolescence is a prime time for this, and it continues into their mid-20s. That means your students are uniquely primed to tackle complex, real-world tasks, to think more flexibly and creatively, and to practice higher-level skills like planning and evaluation. You can leverage myelination by offering challenging tasks that stretch students just beyond their comfort zone. You can use project-based learning, debates, and creative problem-solving. You can leverage myelination by inviting students to approach a problem from multiple angles, not just one, and using co-collaborative efforts when appropriate. Next is the prefrontal cortex. This is like the CEO, but it's still under construction during this time period. The prefrontal cortex is the part of the brain responsible for planning, impulse control, decision-making, and long-term thinking. It's still under construction in adolescence and will continue developing into their mid-20s. This means that your students may struggle with organization and follow-through. They may make impulsive choices, especially when under stress or strong emotions. and they may have a hard time considering long-term consequences in the moment, or emphasize and focus on short-term rewards more strongly than long-term repercussions. This is not a character flaw, it's anatomy. Their emotional center, the limbic system, matures much earlier than their brake system, the prefrontal cortex, which is why emotions can feel so big and fast at this age. You can support prefrontal development in your classroom by building in routines that require planning and reflection, and offering simple, guided choices instead of rigid either-or situations, and using pause moments when conflicts arise, like let's all take a breath, and then we'll talk through what happened and what needs to happen next. Remember, when you incorporate pause moments, keep them trauma-informed. For some students, breath holds or certain body positions can feel activating rather than calming, especially if they've experienced trauma. Offer options like slow in and out breathing without any holds, eyes open, or a different grounding strategy altogether, like the 3-3-3 method of noticing 3 things they see, 3 things they hear, and moving 3 parts of their body like fingers, toes, head, or neck. And remind students that opting out or adjusting the practice is always welcome. By doing this, you're strengthening their prefrontal cortex by giving them choice, not by insisting on one right way to regulate. Module 3 of the Engaged Classroom course breaks this down further, showing you how to embed these brain-aware supports into everyday routines without making your day more complicated. When you view behavior and learning through this brain lens, a few things start to shift. Like a student's impulsive comment becomes an opportunity to practice self-regulation, not proof that they don't care. Or forgetfulness or disorganization becomes a cue to scaffold planning skills, not to assume laziness. And emotional intensity becomes information about their limbic system, not a verdict on your worth or value as a teacher. You still hold boundaries and expectations. The difference is that you enforce them from a grounded understanding that your brain is in a major remodeling phase. I'm here to help you practice the skills you're still wiring in. The adolescent brain is not broken, it's under construction, and it's incredibly powerful. When you teach with pruning, myelination, and the developing prefrontal cortex in mind, you're not just getting through a school year, you're helping wire students' brains for resilience, curiosity, and lifelong learning. You deserve brain science that makes your job easier, not heavier. Let this understanding soften how you see your students and how you see yourself. Before we wrap up, here's a question for you. What's one student behavior that makes more sense now that you're thinking about pruning, myelination, or the still developing prefrontal cortex? And what's one way you might respond differently next time? Share one aha or oh wow in the comments below. Your example could help another teacher reframe a hard moment in their own classroom. And thank you for spending this time with the voice of the student. Here, teacher well-being is not an afterthought, it's the foundation. When the adult nervous system is grounded, classrooms become safer, more human spaces where the adolescent brain can finally exhale, engage, and thrive. And if this episode sparked ideas for your classroom, imagine what's possible with a step-by-step roadmap and a community of educators doing this work alongside you. Head over to thevoiceofthestudent.com to learn more about my foundational, self-paced online course, The Engaged Classroom, and my educator training, The Reimagine Educator Method, both designed to help you transform the teacher-student experience with science-backed tools, intentional classroom energy, and sustainable habits that work in real schools with real students. If this episode supported you, please like, subscribe, and follow The Voice of the Student and share it with one teacher friend. Together we can elevate the teacher-student experience, one nervous system, one class, one student, one teacher, and one school at a time. Your energy, your intention, and your voice matter more than you know. Listen, innovate, educate, and thank you for listening and all that you do. Until next time on The Voice of the Student.